Hi, and welcome to part 9 of your dynamic grocery list. I just wanted to mention I had to run out right after I made the the code for all of this. So I went ahead and uploaded it all to my server and used it while I was out shopping, and it worked perfectly. Only one thing that I did want to point out, I'm on GoDaddy, and this line 1, this XML version 1.0, encoding threw an error, so I had to actually delete that, and I don't know that that's even necessary in this template, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that for here as well and save. But anyway, let's get on to our parsing script to parse the form that you did in the last version, or in the last video. So essentially our last video, which was let me find that create form. That's right here. All right, now as you can see from our form element down below, that we are passing this action to a form called createParse.php. This is our parsing script, and we're sending two parameters, and the first one is a name of item, the second one is note, and then we have a submit button. So we need to pick up item and note on the other end so that we can put those into our database. So let's go ahead to the createParse.php. So open a document, give it a PHP opening and closing tag, and save it in your directory with everything else as createParse.php. And then once you've done that, open up these tags, put a little space between them, and on our line 2 we're going to put string item, which is $item equals string underscore post, and then in brackets and single quotations item, and then we follow that with a semicolon. And then we go down below and we do the same thing, and we say string note equals string underscore post note with a semicolon. Okay, this picks up our posted items. Now we need to connect to our database, so we include once connect PHP. Now from there what we do is we create an SQL query, and that is string SQL equals MySql query, and then in parentheses and quotes insert into items, and then in parentheses again items item, comma, items note, comma, items time. These are the fields in your database that you're inserting values to. And then end your parentheses and then type values in all caps, and then start new parentheses. And in the new parentheses we're going to send this variable, the posted item of item, string item, so that's going to go right here with items item. And then you put a comma, and then string note, that's going to be the note from our form, then a comma, and then in caps NOW, and then parentheses around nothing, just open and close parentheses, and then you put an end parentheses for these items. Now you're putting into these fields in the database these values. The now value isn't a posted value at all. It just takes your current time and puts that in items time. And we're not really even using that in this demonstration, but you can you can make pages that sort by the time these things were put in, and we might do that a little bit later on. And then of course you make a or die MySQL error. This is for your error reporting, so that if you did something wrong anywhere along before this, it'll report the error. Okay, and then after that we're just going to do header location index PHP. So that means it's going to execute this thing here, and then it's going to go to header PHP. This right here is all commented out because this was just something I was using for reference. It's irrelevant. So if you take a look at this, there's really only 5 lines of code here. It's your posted values of item and note, and then you're including your connection script, so you're connecting to your database, and then your SQL query that puts this information that it got from your form into your database. And then it's going to go with this header location index PHP. It's going to take once you've hit that button and put your entry in, it's going to take you right back to the index page so that you'll see your list. And this is incredibly useful because that way when you have entered an item, you just end up right back at home base there. Okay, we're at our actual page now, and we can see we still have bread, milk, coffee. Oh, and also I've made a change here, so let me go back and show you that change real quick. So what I've done is I've gone to header PHP right here, and there were a whole bunch of lines of what's going on in here. There's like all of these links, and essentially, let me just back out of this. Control Z. Okay, you can see all of these. And I've changed the first link to index PHP, which takes you back to the home page, and I've changed the second to create item PHP. We no longer need any of these down below this link to this guy's website. So we're just going to get rid of those, like so. And at that point, our document can be saved. And that's going to give us index in one of those tabs and create an item in another one of the tabs. So now let's go back to our page here, and we refresh our page, and what you had before is now this on these tabs, these mouse overs. So we can choose to go back to the home page, which is where we're at, or we can choose to create a new item. So we're going to go ahead and create a new item. We're going to call this one, I don't know, oranges. And, oops, I got a T in there. And you could write a note or not write a note. I'm just going to write a note. Just going to type good, just so there's a note. Add that to the shopping cart, and we just hang on, and you can see that oranges have been added. So you want to add apples now. So you can add apples, juicy. And just hit enter. That should work. I don't know if it's going to work, but there you go. So now we have bread, milk, coffee, oranges, apples. So now you have the ability to add on the fly. And now I've used this on my cell phone. And what I've found with this layout is you have to pinch and expand to expand these out because it shows the whole page and it shows it very small. So you could use this layout, or you could use no layout at all, or make your own or whatever. Any way you want to go. I'm just going with this layout because I thought it would be easier. It does appear that you have to expand on these, but it works just as well on a smartphone as anywhere else. So now I'll just go ahead and delete apples, get rid of that, and then it'll come right back with the rest of this stuff. And I've already got my apples, so I'm good to go there. Get rid of my oranges, so I picked those up. Also picked up coffee, let's say for example. Coffee, gone. And got my bread. So all I've got left is milk. Find my milk. And now I've got an empty database here. So all I have to do now is create a new item. And we'll just go back with milk. And we'll just say 2% milk. Capitalized 2% half gallon. And add that in, and that way if someone else is going to the shopping going to do the shopping on the way home, all they have to do is pick up this page that they've bookmarked into their smartphone, and they find that there's your milk, half gallon. As soon as they pick it up, they click that and they're out. So that's that. That's pretty much it. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to clean up this whole top and bottom here, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and make our login, and we're going to add our login to the top, to the header, so that any page that uses this page will be required to use a login, so that people can't go in and look at your cart. I don't really mind people looking at my cart. I mean, as I'm pushing it through the grocery store, people can look at it. But you might not want people to screw around with you, like adding stuff you don't need or deleting stuff that you do need. So it's always a good idea to add a little security. So anyway, we'll do that in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.